friends. Thanks for stopping by today. I want to talk a little bit about your gut. And I don't mean digestion. I mean listening to your gut. Now, some people may call this listening to the universe, listening to God, intuition. There's a lot of different names for it. But I personally call it listening to the universe. I think if you don't believe the way I do, I respect that. But the way that I believe, I think there is a whole that is greater than its parts. And we are all part of it. If you'd like to call that God, great, go ahead and call it God. I don't believe in a personified God. I believe in God as a force. And that force is the universe, and we are all part of that force. So let me tell you a story about a time when I was listening to my gut, or the universe, or God, whatever you want to call it, and how things worked out. So many years ago, 10 and a half years ago now, because it's the holidays of 24. So in 2013, my husband and I had a separation, and we worked through it and got back together again. And just at the time when we did get back together again, suddenly my sister's husband died unexpectedly. Now, my sister is 15 years older than I am, and her husband was 15 years older than her. So he was not a young man, but still, he was not old. And it was a shock. So I came up to Northern Colorado to be with her and to help her right after he died. And every night I would call home and I would tell my husband, oh my gosh, the people here are so kind. The weather is so wonderful. Now, remember, at the time, we lived in San Antonio, Texas. And June, July, August, September in San Antonio is hot. H-O-T. Hot. So I was really enjoying the weather. And I kept telling my husband, I love this place. I love this place. I love this place. So I was here for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't remember. And by the time I went back home, I told him, I want to move. I want to move to Northern Colorado. First of all, I hadn't lived in the same city as my sister in probably 20 years. And I thought a fresh start would do us good, as he did. And so he said, okay, let's make it through the holidays. It was June. He said, let's make it through the holidays and then we'll start talking about it. I said, okay. So Thanksgiving came and went. Our boys' birthdays came and went. One is born in late November, the other one on New Year's Eve. And Christmas came and went, and the New Year came, and I said, okay, I'm ready to start looking. I still want to move. And he said, okay, let's do it. So he started looking for jobs. I started looking for jobs. Now, I'm a teacher, so my job search really couldn't start in earnest until about March or April, when schools would know more about their staffing needs for the following year, who was leaving, who was changing jobs, things like that. But he's a librarian, so he can apply for jobs anytime. He applied for one job. He applied for one job and he got it. Then, so over spring break, the boys and I drove up here with him, dropped him off, and flew back home. And he started his new job living with my sister at the time. Thank you very much for that, sister. So I continued my job search. I was applying in a district that got an average of 800 applications per job opening. And my sister, who had lived here in town, was told by numerous friends that there was no way I was going to get a job in the district because you had to know someone. Literally, with 800 applications for each job, it's hard to get into. I had 2 interviews. The first interview I had been teaching long enough, and those of you that are teachers will understand this. I had been teaching long enough that I understood when a school is all about the child as a human versus all about the child as a data point. And the first interview I had was with a school all about the child and as a data point. Testing, testing, testing. And I got off the phone and I thought, oh no, if that's the only job offer I get, I will go do something else. They didn't offer me a job. They called me and said, we've chosen someone else. And I said, good riddance. I didn't say that on the phone. That would be rude. So the next interview that I had was with a school, and they called me and said, we'd like to interview you. And I said, terrific. And they said, when can you come in? And I said, well, I still live in Texas. And they were flummoxed. The office manager basically said, oh, well, okay, I guess we could do a phone interview and we'll have you last. And we'll have you on a Friday night. So I thought, oh gosh, this is not good. But gut feeling, listening to the universe, not worrying, trying my hardest, doing all the work that I can do because I feel like this is the right thing for us to do. Had the interview. It was a fabulous interview. I loved all the people in the room, even though all I knew was their voices. And I was being interviewed by the 4th grade team and the 3rd grade team at the same time. And there was also this special education teacher was in the room, and also I believe the literacy specialist at the time, as well as the principal. So it was a big group of people. I get off the phone and I think, wow, I really want to work there. This would be a terrific place for me. And I know now that my future partners, or my past the team members that were going to hire me, immediately knew that they wanted me on their team. And they immediately started telling the principal, please hire her, please hire her, please hire her. Meanwhile, I was listening to my gut and I thought, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get a job. I can't control where, I can't control what, I can't control how. All I can control is my actions to get a job. I was putting in applications for the 3 school districts in the area. I was emailing principals with cover letters, which I didn't know at the time. They're not allowed to respond to those. But I was interviewing principals with cover letters and telling them, hey, my application's in, you should pull my application. So that might be why I got a couple interviews. I was talking to friends of my sister who could give me pointers about working in the district. So I was doing everything that I possibly could. And I was also saying a worry word prayer every night. And I will post that prayer in the comments down below, or in the description, down below. I don't know where it comes from, but to this day, I use it because worrying really gets you nowhere, right? Worrying, what's that saying? Worrying is interest paid on a debt not yet incurred. I might be totally wrong. If you know the saying, let me know in the comments down below. All of these sayings that my mom used to have, and I know part of them, or I know them completely, but that one I don't. Anyway, I knew that worrying was pointless. There's no point in it. All it would do was make me anxious, make it hard for me to deal with my life as it was. And so I just decided not to. Okay, so that was the job. My husband had the job. I was interviewing for a job. House. We needed to buy a house. My husband was living up here with my sister, as I said before. Oh, it's the Casper break. For those of you who have watched a few of my videos, you have seen that my dog Casper likes to insert himself in the video about, I don't know, midway. A little way in. Say hi, Casper. So here's Casper. Oh, and Zookie's here too, but Zookie's old and she's got She's got bad hips, so she doesn't jump up. Hi, Zookers. Okay, so enough puppies. Okay, get down. That's all. That's all. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Go lie down. Go lie down. Good boy. Okay, so where was I? House. That's where I was. So we needed to buy a house, and every day I would get on and look at houses. Now this is at the beginning of the housing demand. At the time, houses were selling for over asking price, and pretty much on the day or a few days after they went on the market. So I finally signed on one day, I believe it was a Friday. I signed online. Oh, now they're going to fight in the background. Maybe this could be a blooper reel. I signed on one day and I found a house that I absolutely loved. Guess what? We got that house. So, husband got the first job. I was hired for a position in the school district at a school that I loved with a team that I loved, where there were over 800 applications. We got the house that we wanted before I ever moved up. Literally, we closed with me still in Texas. And so by the time I moved here, we only had a couple of weeks to stay with my sister. And then we moved into our new house. Now, am I going to say that everything went perfectly? No, it did not. But we both knew it was the right thing to do. We both had a gut feeling that this was the right thing for us to do. Now, financially, we're not any better off than we were in Texas. In fact, I got a lower. I thought I was going to get a raise moving here, but remember how there's 800 applicants for every job here? Yeah, they start you on the salary scale at 7, even though I had 15 years experience. So I thought I was going to get a raise. I didn't get a raise. I got a lower. So I was making less money. Our mortgage was more expensive. I was making less money, but quality of life. So the quality of life that we have had for the last 10 years has been significantly better than it was for the 10 years prior. We both knew that we needed to make this move, and listening to our gut made a difference. Now, I'm going to post another video that is another story about listening to your gut. I'd love to hear if you have had experiences where you just had a gut feeling that it was the right thing to do. And it turned out that yes, it worked out for you and things happened the way they were supposed to happen. Not without bumps. I'm not saying that things are easy. I'm saying that things with the right effort happened smoothly, relatively. We did have some things go wrong, but in the grand scheme of things, it has been a very positive move for us. And we are very happy and very thankful for living where we live. Thanks for stopping by today. I appreciate it. Take care.